Welcome to the channel. So today I'm going to install the double din radio in the Jeep, but in order to do that there's a few things we got to do. So I wanted to do a double din radio, that way eventually I can have a backup camera, and I just wanted something to look a little bit better. So with this dash bezel, you ain't gonna be able to make a double din work unless you cut it out. It's just set up for a single din, so there really isn't room for a double din unless you cut this out, but I think it's still going to be a little bit too wide. So I picked up this new dash bezel, and it comes with everything you need for a double din on the Cherokees. So here is the new one. Everything looks pretty good on it. Looks like it's made pretty good, but as you can see, they've got it shaped to where the double din will fit. It also comes with mounting hardware for your radio. So this kit has everything you need. So on your vents you do have to swap them out, and it looks like the clips that holds it on, looks like you have to swap them. So first things first, we need to go ahead and remove this factory dash bezel. All it is held on by a couple clips. You should be able to just reach behind it and kind of pull it loose. And you do need to take your factory radio out if you have one. You do need to go ahead and remove it. Next we need to remove our old radio mounts. It's saying to remove all 4 screws that holds the climate control. It says to remove those and just slide that out of the way for right now. So next, the instructions are saying that we need to cut this piece off. So hopefully you can see it good, but right there is how the instructions are saying. So depending on what kind of radio you're using, depends on how much you have to cut of this. So the radio I'm going to use, the back of it's kind of short, so I don't think I'm going to have to cut a whole lot. But if you're using a bigger radio that's got a lot bigger back to it, you are going to have to trim a lot more of the area. As you can see, you got to do both sides, and you have to cut it all the way to the back here on both sides. But since my radio is a little bit shorter, I'm going to go ahead and just cut it right here. And they also give you some tape, because you are cutting into the air duct just a little bit, but they do give you some tape to seal that back off. So I'm going to move these wires to the side, that way everything's out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and trim that piece off. Okay, so now I'm going to take some of the tape that's provided, and I'm going to seal that hole back off. So next it's telling us to get our radio brackets, and it's saying to cut the shaded areas. You might not have to do that if you have the bigger radio with the bigger back on it. I'm not really for sure. It's not saying anything about that. I got both of them cut. Next it's saying to mount the climate controls back, and it's saying just use the 2 lower screws. It looks like our mounts are going to be using the 2 upper screws. So now we're going to install our brackets to the radio, and they got it labeled left and right side. So for your left side mount, they actually give you a screw, that way you can tap it in right there on the top part, and then that bottom, it just mounts where the climate control is. Then your right side bracket, it's going to mount where the factory top right mount was, and then the bottom goes on the climate control. Alright, so now I got the radio mounted. So now I'm going to go ahead and test fit the new panel just to make sure it's lined up right. You may have to do it a couple times. There is quite a bit of adjustment. Okay, so that looks pretty close right there. I believe that will work. So before I completely put the radio together and get everything installed, there's a couple things I want to do. So this radio, it comes with a USB port. It's got this cord that it comes with, and I don't really want that just hanging out, and I kind of want to make it look a little bit better. So I went and got this USB and aux mount. All you're going to do is just plug this up, and this will also update the old charging ports. It had a cigarette lighter port, so I was going to replace that, and I'll probably end up replacing both of them eventually, but for now I'm going to replace this one, and that should give it a cleaner look. That'll update it quite a bit. So I got the new plug installed. Now we need to install our bezel. So we need to take all our vents from the old bezel and swap them over, and also the clips on the back. So right here is the metal clips that we need to get out. I'll just take a flat screwdriver or some kind of pliers and just pull that off. Now these vents, they just kind of snap in place. They're really easy to get out. Basically all you do is just line it up there, and it just kind of snaps in place. So both vents are now in and all the clips are on. So now all we got to do is snap this back in place, and then our radio will be installed. Everything is now complete. So now I'm going to turn the key on and make sure the radio works. So of course I'm not going to turn any music on due to copyright. So it does have the Apple CarPlay, and this one actually has quite a bit on it. So I never heard of this radio before until just a couple weeks ago. I was looking it up, and a lot of people have been talking about how good these radios are. And one thing I have noticed, they do have a lot of features on them. So you got your front cam, reverse cam, definitely got a lot of apps on it. Definitely have a lot of features. I think you can go in and change these backgrounds. I'm gonna try this radio out for a while, see how I like it. So far I'm pretty impressed of everything that's on it, but that definitely gives the Cherokee a lot better look. Definitely makes it a lot more modern looking. Well guys, I believe that's gonna do it for this video. I'll definitely do a review of this radio in the future. Hopefully it'll be a good one. But that's how you install a double DIN radio in the Cherokee. But I hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more.